Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the zetamath Set Some Pencil Puzzles mini-series. Today we're going to make a country road puzzle for Ransk. So we have here the rules of country road. So the puzzle asks you to draw a loop in the traditional sense. The loop's not allowed to branch. It's not allowed to cross itself, as usual. Every region that we divide the grid into must be visited exactly once. A number indicates how many cells in that country, as they are called, is visited by the loop. And then, as every pencil puzzle genre, there's one weird, hard to wrap your brain around rule, which is that two adjacent cells in different countries cannot both be unused by the loop. If you don't visit this cell, then you have to visit this cell. And so as an example of this, have something like, something like this is what you have to avoid. Okay. Also, the exactly once part of the rule for visiting countries is very important. So you can't have any unvisited countries, and you can't sort of like leave a country and then come back. But this is the thing you have to avoid. You can visit both sides. Visiting both sides of a border is fine. And note that unlike Heiawake, I mentioned in Heiawake, if you're going to call a puzzle a Heiawake puzzle, it has to have rectangular regions. Country Road definitely does not have to have regions that are rectangular. Okay, so I think it's always good if you have a puzzle with a weird rule set to start off with a deduction that uses the weird rule set. And so the way that I'm going to do that is by putting a 1 here in this country up here. That is to say that we visit exactly one cell in here with the loop. Oh, I need to add line to my list here. And that cell can only actually be this one, is the deduction that I intend. Oops, this should be in the solution file. That's not the line. There we go. If I try to visit this one, I need to visit an adjacent cell in the country, and that's already too many. Likewise, that one, so I have to do that. And that means that these cells are unvisited. And so, by virtue of being across the border, these two have to be visited. And so, therefore, we get this sort of pattern right away. And so, that's sort of the thing I was mentioning of use the hard rule right away. Okay. So, then I'm tempted to just immediately reward someone for reading the rules carefully by having this country have a 3 in its total number. There we go. 3 is the number I'm looking for. And so therefore these are immediately unvisitable, which forces this line over here, forces that to be visited, but remember, also forces these two to be visited, as well as these two to be visited, because of the rule about borders. Okay. So now we can try. Now we've got a whole bunch of cells that now have to be visited, and we can try and draw a region that uses these in some sort of interesting way. So one thing that I'm sort of inclined to do here is to chop this up into like an L-shaped region like that. Maybe make this region over here look like that or something like this. And so now here what I'm trying to do is twofold. One of them is, remember, you can only visit the region once. So this visit has to nab all of these cells. Like that. And now I definitely can't actually continue into here because now this is one country over here. If I go here, now these two connect, and now I can't get to the rest of the map. And the other map has other countries. So that sort of forces this arrangement like that. Now I can force the same thing and still like change or play with the shape of this country a little bit. And I kind of want to do that, actually. I kind of want to make this country look like that instead. And I kind of want to put these two things in the same country to repeat the same logic of if I put these two in the same country, now I can't possibly visit this cell. And so I'm going to make a country here that's going to look something like that, but it's probably not going to be exactly that. But I'll make it that for now, just to remind myself I'm using the fact that these two are in the same country, so I can't possibly visit this cell. And therefore, I must visit this cell. And in fact, this line must keep going down here like this. And indeed, this line must keep going down here like this. And in fact, this now, because this must be visited, has to do something like that. This line has to keep going like this. Yeah. I think now it's probably fun to make this country a 4, because we've got 3 of the cells forced. If we make it a 4, we now know what the 4 are, or a 5 for that matter, but let's make it 4. 4 is probably more fun. Maybe we will leave this being a 2x3 country. Who knows? Number 4. 4 is a number. Solution. Okay, so it's going to be those 4. These are going to be unvisited, so therefore these are all going to have to be visited. These are visited. Okay, and so now this is going to have to go that way. That's the only way to get to 4, is what I'm trying to get the solver to realize. So an interesting piece now is that we actually know that this, by virtue of being visited, is a corner, and is a corner. So we actually know we get this kind of shape for free. And so we can play with that if we want. We know we're visiting this cell over here. We probably would like to actually sort of like drag this over here somewhere. Just so that we don't have these two loop ends sort of getting pushed too hard towards the bottom, or you're going to be sort of force a whole bunch of the loop by virtue of that and possibly break it unless you make the geography of the countries exactly right, that kind of thing. Okay, so now I kind of want to do another country road trick. Where I make a country that only borders 2 countries. So I'm going to make this country go this way. I don't know exactly what this country is going to look like yet. Actually, I'm going to make this country look like a Z like that. I think that would probably be good. trying to make sure I force the geometry down here. Okay, so this, if I try that, it's going to pull this across here. Strands these cells. Does immediately make that a corner. And now the thing that I'm trying to use here that I think is kind of interesting, I'll often mark it like with an X like this, is I cannot cross from this country into this cell, because if I do that, I've now made it impossible for the path to enter and exit this, because it can only enter and exit through this and whatever shape goes down here. So in fact, actually, this is this is one of these. We know this comes here. So we know we get all of this surface like that. Okay, and I can fix it so that there's currently like a little bit of ambiguity about exactly how this works. I can help that by making part of this country. So now we know this certainly has to come around here so that it meets all of those cells in here. And then we have to decide how exactly am I resolving how the L oh no, we know how the we don't know how the L works, is we don't know if we visit this cell or not. Okay, so I can either go straight up here. I think probably the best way to do this, and it's okay to have a somewhat easy step here, given that we were around some steps that are a little tricky, is to have a 3 here. So the 3 that it has to visit are certainly these 3, and so you get that combination of visited, unvisited stuff. Okay, and then let's make a country here. Yeah, we'll make it look like that. That has size 5, we'll make it. Sorry, has 5 visited cells, since we have forced the visiting of 5 cells. And so the line now must leave the country. And we get some gray, which gives us some green, and conveniently, this is a corner, so we know the edge looks like this. It would be fun if these didn't connect for some horrible reason. I've got it. Well, maybe. What I think I want is to make this country a 4. And now these can't connect, because if they do connect, then now I'm certainly not getting out of this country. Oh no, that's not true. Yeah, we'll make this country a little bit weirder looking. No, this isn't quite gonna work, sadly. I thought it was gonna work, but it's not quite gonna work. I think I can make it work. Can I? What I want to do is I want to force that this actually goes up this way to only visit the country for 4 cells. But I don't think that's sensible. I don't think it works that way. I could also just put this in a country that visits more than 1 cell, and then they can't connect. That's probably the easiest way to do it. I'll plan on putting this in a country that visits more than 1 cell. I don't know exactly what. So if I do that, because that's what I'm planning on doing, then this will come this way. Go with our old standby, the 2x3 country. 2. Okay, so if that's true, we're never visiting any of those, so we're visiting all of these regardless. And that one. Okay, as long as these 3 cells are in the same country, that's certainly enough to tell us that this 5 doesn't go this way, because again, that would prematurely close the loop. So we can just draw in a country for this to be part of, and we can modify it as needed. But then this 2 has to go this way. This loop has to come this way. So now we know this sort of funny fact that this line has to connect here somehow. And actually, sorry, we know exactly how it connects because this has become unvisited. And so this line has to connect like this. And now this is unvisited, so these both have to be visited no matter how I go about doing this. Wait, was that unvisited? Sorry, I said this was unvisited. There's no reason for this to be unvisited. This could be visited. Is what we call a logical leap. Okay, how about I make a country starting here. I'll make this country have 4 cells that are visited, maybe something like that. But the thing I want to get at is this cell has to be visited if I draw it this way. Because if this cell's unvisited, certainly this cell's also unvisited. I don't know. I like that deduction, but I don't. I think I worry about what it is going to do to this country's ethos. Could just make a big country like this. To make this a 3. Or even a 4, right? A 4 is just as good almost as a 3. Because we now know basically how we have to get out. A 3 actually creates a little bit more intrigue on the other side. So I'm going to go with 3 for now, but I might change it. The line here has to go up like that. Green here, but also creating a green here, which creates interesting possibilities if we decide that we actually want to make this all part of one country. Oh, that's just, oh yeah, it is. No, it's not possible. It's not possible, sadly, because of the fact that this end would end this loop unless we make it like one giant country. You probably don't want to make one giant country, right? Because basically, yeah, the thing I know is I just know that this is like that because it's a corner. So I know that this cell is unvisited, so I know that these cells are visited. But I also know we need a border between these two countries of some description. Again, if we sort of make a country that has this kind of like L shape, we can automatically pull this over here. I'm not sure that's what I really want, though. Might have more fun if this country was actually P-shaped. Like that. Because that bullies this arrow over here, because of the fact that these can't join again, which continues a bit of a theme of the puzzle. Actually, we can make this U-shaped region even more exaggerated. Make it even more exaggerated like that, so that we actually know that the way this has to get out is that way. We can make this a 5. So that it's already visited its 5 cells. So these are both out. So these are both in, and those are in, and those are in. Actually, no, this comes like this. This comes like this. Okay, and so now I kind of want to do a like 2 more countries and just try to get this to be unique by math, basically. So if I make this country a 3, then I think it does definitely force it to be those 3. Otherwise, we're not getting out of the country. Which then forces this to be green. Forces that, and then this is a corner. And so then we get everything forced as we wish. Oh, sorry, this is gray, but it doesn't matter. Okay, I think that works. Of course, I think I have my solution colored incorrectly. Hopefully I was able to use the green and the gray to keep track of what's going on. Okay. I got a nice mix of countries with clues, countries without clues. Okay, so the first thing is that because of this, we'll use the same sort of shading here of not part of there, part of there. And now this cell and this cell must both be parts of things. So that's our sort of first deduction. So that's green. And we can do that. And that's green as well. Green, blue, whatever. And now this 3 is satisfied, so we can mark these all as out. These are all now in. This has to come here, and so now it has to run through all of this like that. And now it can't come back over here or we close the loop prematurely. So we have to come down there. And likewise, the loop can't come here or we close the loop prematurely. So that's out and that's in and that's in. But now this can't come into this directly because, again, we'd close the loop prematurely. So we have to do that. And we're at 4, so we can't leave the country yet. So we've got to do that. And now we have to leave the country, so we have to leave it that way. Greens, there's some grays and some greens. These greens pull this up here immediately. And actually, that's a corner, so we get that for free as well. That is a gray, so we get these are all green. Is green, and we've got to come at least this far. And this 3 country, we've got to get in and out through this country and this country. So there's only one actual way out, which is this way. So the 3 means that we visit those 3 and not that one, which forces that arrangement. All green. And keep in mind, this is a corner. This is a corner. So we know which 5 with the W pentamino are the 5 that are visited. These become green. Got that there. This is a corner. Okay, we can't connect down because of this 2. And in particular, these are all just gone immediately from because of the 2. So those are all in, not that one. Yeah, this can't go here because, again, that would prematurely close the loop. Did a good job integrating that theme repeatedly into the puzzle. So we know we've got all of that. It's gray, so that's green. Wait, why is that gray? I don't know why that's gray. This is green. Okay, so the 3 here definitely doesn't include that one, is the point. And so it definitely, so the loop has to come here and then there, and now we know what the 3 are. I was trying not to do anything that required too much thinking about the geometry of these shapes. Could do that there. Okay, we've not hit 5 yet, so we've got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, leave, is how that has to work. So these are gray, which makes all of these green. Let's see, this is a corner, so we know it does that. This is a corner, so we know it does that. Oh, this is green because of this, and now we only get 1 visit per country, so we get to do that. This comes here. Okay, my 3 definitely doesn't extend as far as any of these cells, and it can't possibly be any of these at the back, or we don't get out. So we get to come up here like that. However, this cell is green, and ergo we must visit it like that. This is a corner, and ergo we have completed the puzzle. Okay, let's see if I can puzzling. Have it verify that I've not screwed it. Yep. Complete. Woohoo! Okay, excellent. File, export URL. Alrighty. That is good for this collection. But we'll be, we'll maybe do more of these later.